The guys on the bench asked me in the fourth quarter, he said, "Why are you in? Why are you playing?" Shit, it's a long summer, we don't make the playoffs. Like, what else I got to do? You know? Just- No, it's wild. Yeah, and for Judah, Dort, and Harrison, I just want them guys also to know. Um, I mean, obviously I'm self-motivated, but it's always nice to have other people besides you, pushing you. And it's crazy. I didn't even realize Steph played 81, you know, and um, yeah, um, it's been an unbelievable season.
You play to win the game like this.
Too, right.
In the closing minute, waiting to, and it don't matter. You care that much when you're upset to like Barnes and the rest. Like, is that genuine? Wanting to win
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. I always say I hate to lose more than I like to win, and if it's a game, we show up, what we gonna do? You know what I mean? So first time he the little flop, whatever, they did it again. And Billy's out there and he's like, my bad, was call it. Or what the hell we here for then? You know what I mean? Like seriously, we showed up. Let's let's play, let's hoop. And I think that's what our team even talked about. That's what Mitch said at halftime. Like you gotta realize you're always being evaluated, and how you do anything, how you do everything. So whether you're in or out, it's just about being competitive and wanting to win. So
We were saying at the end there, there's just CBA's on league today, and probably the five guys that you had on the court at the end were the most accomplished five that any game. It did not matter to have up there. Why did the Spurs have five guys, rotation players, future Hall of Famers? Where did that come from?
competition, competition. I get it, the standings, all this different type of stuff. But when you're a kid and you think about hooping, trying to make it to the NBA, you want to play. You want to play. And I've said this all year long. I've had 5 hand surgeries, meniscus surgeries, all this. So I've sat over there with the inability to play, and so you never know what it may be your last game or your last opportunity to play. And when you hoop during the summer, I mean, I'm gonna go home and work out with my son and probably hoop. So he my AU team, but it's just different, playing on that stage in front of all the fans against other NBA players. Just try not to take it for granted.
The whole year on what? So
Man, it's unbelievable. Like I said, the fans, so many familiar faces, and I got a chance to see some of these courtside fans, been known me, for times over my career, but it's been so good to get to know people on a different basis. The fans here are unbelievable. For the first 19 years, the only thing I knew about San Antonio was the Riverwalk, you know, and I might not have went down there one time since I lived here, so I got a chance to see more of the city, more of the people, the facilities, the staff, coaches. RC is 101, and I really got a chance to see why the Spurs have been the Spurs for so long.
future,
Absolutely, absolutely. You got competitive guys, obviously starting with Vic, and then you got Fox, you got Harrison, and the young guy. I think they sponges. They're gonna keep learning. I think my biggest advice to Steph just now was I told him to go see a playoff game, go see a couple of them. My first 2 years in the league, I was at the I went to the Miami Heat Dallas series. That was when D Wade didn't win the championship, and then I was actually at Game 4 in the finals when the Spurs swept the Cavs. I was at that game, so it's different, and that's why I told him it's not the same as watching it on TV. I said go watch a couple playoff games, can and just see the intensity. And I remember my second year in the league after watching that, I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch this. I want to play, and so that's probably my advice to the guy.
I remember that your peers have already.
Um, the word I use all the time is gratitude. You know, fortunately for most of my career, I've been in the playoffs, haven't played in so many like non-meaningful games or whatnot. So I think towards the end of the season, it was just the mental part. You know, so having other guys showing up every day and making sure he doing the work and taking those shortcuts, I feel good about it. I feel good about my experience here. And, um, as mad as I am about not being in the playoffs, I'm excited to see my family.
Yes, the graph there where you walk,
Yeah.
you step kid. Not in regards to graph.
I mean, that's just like, more so like, and just trying to make sure you keep stacking days.
You look at like somebody like LeBron still at a high level type of conversation as far as like longevity thing about.
No, I haven't, uh, but I've been on sort of my own personal journey for a while. I know a number of guys that have played, went on, you know what I mean? So it's the formula is sort of the formula. You know, seriously, like you got to keep stacking days, keep sacrificing, and work will show up.
Appreciation for the job.
1000%. This year was a roller coaster, right? We got dealt a few blows as far as obviously the news would pop earlier in the season and with Vic, but he did a great job of managing the situation and coaching and teaching. I can't imagine how tough it's been for him and all of our staff.
Tackle. Somebody will let you first.
First and foremost, I have no clue, but I have no clue. Probably first and foremost, front of my mind right now is to get out there to see my family.
With this Spurs culture, perhaps to play one more year.
Man, you can phrase do questions any way you want to, but I'm gonna tell you, he's been unbelievable here, and I mean it. I mean it seriously. It's been unbelievable. I think this summer, I'll make that decision.
Oh, I'm trying to but
Yeah.
it's not in terms of whether if
Yeah.
this was Chris was leading the NBA stage in this way with the Spurs, a game like that just really was.
It's meant to lie. It's meant to lie. But for me, I'm still in it. Like I'm still too in it to even reflect on all of that. You know what I mean? I just parents came into the game today. My wife and my daughter, my son had practice or whatnot. So right now I'm just thinking about the summer. It's gonna be a long summer. You know what I mean? So I'll reflect on all that when it's time.
Chris, I've been asking all of the guys if they had like a Chris Paul moment or story from the season, and all of them sort of talked about more just generally being around you, your competitiveness, your intelligence for the game, the consistency. Do you think about or understand or feel that your role as, Chris Paul, the veteran, to, now 20 years of guys who've come through the league, do you think about your place in the game for those young guys?
Not a lot of times, I tell you. I just, it's hard because the league has changed. The way you talk and communicate to guys, it's just a little different, and there's times where I be like, I'm nice. Then there's times where I be like, look, I think I played long enough to where I've got many texts from teammates 2, 3 years after we were teammates, and they be like, man, thank you for how hard you were on me or what you taught me. So for the guys, I try not to be too abrasive or whatnot, but I know I know what a privilege it is to be in this league, right? And so it's tough at times when I see guys and take it for granted, right? So I'm just always constantly talking to them about watching and learning and understanding all the details of the game. So not with so much. Just I just want everyone to be able to play as long as they want to and enjoy. This NBA is crazy. You could play basketball every day and say that's your way of life. So I just try to pass that on to my teammate.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Say